Welcome to Box Office Buddies, a podcast where we have a new guest on each week and we unpack, review, and talk about their all-time favorite movie. I'm Branden Dillard, and this is my friend Natalie Dean. Natalie, will you tell us a little bit about yourself? What do you do for fun? Where do you work? What makes Natalie Natalie?
Ooh, sure. Okay, I'm Natalie, and I work for Department of Human Services. Woo.
Yeah, my mom works there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Co-workers, kind of. It's a big department.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do I do for fun? I don't know. Hang out with friends. I like to watch movies, TV, listen to music. Looking for hobbies. So taking suggestions.
Well, I have podcast equipment. If you ever want to start a podcast, just know you can use it whenever. If you had a podcast, what would my podcast be about? Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. Maybe like people's like favorite travels or learning about different cultures is something I really like to do.
Yeah. So you like to travel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where's the last place you traveled?
The last place I traveled, I traveled to was Arkansas. Not very exciting.
Okay. Yeah.
I hit a deer on the way home, so not awesome.
Yeah.
But last international travel, I was living in London, moving home.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. How's it been since you've been back?
It's been good.
Good.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. And it's home here, so it's nice to be back in a place where it's familiar.
Yeah. What's the? You said you were in London. Mm-hmm. What do you miss most about London?
Oh, what do I miss most? Probably my friends, but I think as far as the city, like public transportation. Maybe that's kind of a weird answer, but I miss all the different areas, being able to travel that way and see everything.
I mean, with gas prices, I don't blame you.
Didn't have to worry about that. Didn't have to worry about a deer hitting my car. I could just jump on the tube.
That's true. And it's funny that we talk about traveling when the movie that we're talking about has to do with some people traveling somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so today we're talking about one of the greatest films to ever grace Disney Channel. Some reviewers say that the Cheetah Girls walked so that High School Musical could run. Would you agree with that statement?
I think the Cheetah Girls were sprinting.
Okay.
And High School Musical was trying to keep up.
Yeah, okay.
I do think they laid the groundwork. They were ahead of their time.
Yeah. That's fair. So for those who haven't seen it, here is the premise. A teenage vocal group whose members are also best friends continue their crusade to become a top pop group. One member decides to enter the group in a Barcelona musical festival, and the girls are thrilled. It is Viva España as they set off for the adventure of a lifetime. This is Cheetah Girls 2, directed by Kenny Ortega. And if you know Disney Channel, then you know Kenny.
You know Kenny Ortega. He's Kenny. The GOAT.
He is. But what are your thoughts on this premise? Because if I'm not mistaken, in the third movie, they also go on, some might say, an adventure of a lifetime. And so what happens in the third movie? Just a quick glance, and what makes it not as cool as their trip to Barcelona.
For sure. I'll tell you about the third movie so you don't have to watch it because you don't need to waste your time. In the third movie, they go to India.
Yes.
They think they're getting an offer to be in a Hollywood film, but it's actually to be in a Bollywood film. So they're going to India. Yeah. And then Raven is not in that one. Galleria is her character.
Yeah, Raven Simone. Yeah.
She's not in the third one. So is it really the Cheetah Girls? No. And the three are competing for the lead role.
Oh, yeah. That's not good.
Yeah. Kind of comes between them, so but it all works out in the end. Oh.
Or should we?
I don't know. I honestly don't remember. They probably all.
Yeah. So why isn't Raven in the third one?
I don't know. I say I'm such a fan, but I actually don't know all the tea. But I think there was like some conflict on set.
Oh, geez.
As a kid, I remember it being like Raven went to college. So
that's all you need to know. Raven went to college. Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned being a kid, and so kind of leading to our first question. How did you first discover this movie, and how many times have you seen it since it came out?
So I was actually thinking about this. I think the first time I was introduced to the Cheetah Girls franchise was when I was staying at a family friend's house while my mom was giving birth to my sister.
Wow.
I remember us watching the first Cheetah Girls. And
your mom also being there giving birth?
No,
okay, that makes more sense.
Out. She was at the hospital. Okay. I was with the family friends.
Yeah.
And just being like, this is everything. Yeah. This is my, like, this is me now.
Yeah.
It's become a part of my personality.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't remember the second movie coming out. I think I was just like there, ready for it to happen. Yeah. And since then, too many times to count. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Even like into my adult life. I'm not ashamed. It's a good movie.
Yeah. It's your favorite.
It's my favorite.
Can't take that away.
There's a reason. Yeah.
As I was watching it, I did some research and I was like, this came out in 2006, but it didn't feel right because I remember like waiting and anticipating for Cheetah Girls 2 to come out. Like,
really?
I remember seeing trailers and like, oh, they're going to Barcelona. I can't wait for this to come out. I feel like it came out in the summer. It just makes sense. But I was like, I was 6 years old. Like, there's no way that I remember
core
that.
memories,
core
though.
Memories,
yeah.
Maybe
Cheetah Girls will have that effect on me.
Cheetah-licious. Yeah. Okay. So how'd you feel watching it again? What kind of emotions, memories does this movie bring up? And how different is it from when you first saw it all those years ago?
Ooh. Now it's like a comfy movie. Mm-hmm. Like, I love it. I know what's going to happen the whole time. It's so fun. Like, they're just having the time of their lives. Yeah. And I don't know. I think in a way it makes me feel like how I felt as a kid watching it. Like, they're like singing and dancing and having fun and seeing this beautiful city. Yeah. I think as a kid, it felt like, I don't know, that was the way that I was getting to like also experience that place. Yeah. And now that I've been to Barcelona, cool. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so like where they are. I remember that. So kind of that piece is a little bit different, but yeah.
Where would you rank Barcelona on the places that you've traveled?
I think outside of London, London's my favorite city in the world, but I think outside of London, Barcelona is probably my favorite. It's like the most beautiful. Yeah. There's so much to do. Like the art scene is incredible, which I feel like you kind of see a little bit in the movie, but yeah.
Are there guys like Angel just strumming their guitars to the street?
I wish. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Not too much. There are some street performers actually that are incredible, but I've never seen on Hill when I've been there, so disappointing.
Yeah. So if they they wrote you a letter and they said, "Hey Natalie, we know you're a super fan. We're gonna redo the second movie. We're gonna go somewhere, but not Barcelona. Where would you want them to go?"
Ooh, good question. Maybe London. That could be fun. Yeah. A little number like on a double-decker bus.
Yeah.
Like go see Big Ben.
Yeah. That's good.
That could be fun.
Yeah. So what was your favorite scene of the movie and why?
Ooh, my favorite scene of the movie. Good question. I think I've always loved Strut, that number, when they are like, we gotta strut down these streets.
Yeah, strut like you mean it.
Exactly. Just like, they're so excited. They're seeing the city. You're getting to see like the street performers, and that song is a bop. So I love that one.
So would you say that's your favorite song from the movie?
I think that's like over time been my favorite song. But I really like Step Up too, because I think the choreography in that one is fun. Yeah. Kenny Ortega really crushed it in this movie. Did. Yeah.
You know, the song Strut kind of reminded me of Work It Out and High School Musical 2.
Yeah.
Just kind of the same kind of vibe. And I was like, whoa, what song is this? But I was like, I remember this song. It's a good song. My favorite scene is definitely any scene with Angel in it. And then I wrote that down like, oh yeah, favorite scene. But then I'm at the end of the movie. They're performing in the festival. And then I see Angel's uncle like on the trumpet. And I'm like, that's pretty fun. And I was like, I don't think that's probably against the rules for him to be in the performance.
That's what I think, but
yeah. I mean,
they never crown a winner. It's
that's
just
true.
like,
that was one of my questions. I was like, so who won the festival? It just ends. Who do you think won? I think it's
just kind of clear. I think everyone thought Marisol was going to win.
Yeah.
And then she didn't compete.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Cheetah Girls just blew it out of the water.
Mm.
And then you'll see like when they start rolling the credits, everyone just like gets up out of their seats and leaves.
Yep.
So they're like, this show's over.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of understood.
Yeah, for sure. So, who is your favorite character? Who's your favorite cheetah? Oh, maybe it's not a cheetah girl.
It's a great question. Oh, well, I think I would have to pick a cheetah girl.
Okay, it's favorite cheetah girl and then favorite non-cheetah girl.
Okay. Dorinda is definitely my favorite.
Yes.
My car's name is Dorinda.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, she's the dancer.
Yes.
And I grew up dancing, so as a kid I was like, and now I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah, and she's not like the other girls. She, in the first movie, we find out that she's a foster kid.
Yeah.
She kind of, I don't know, like it's just like her and her girls, and I like her character.
Yeah. Favorite non-cheetah girl?
Has to be Joaquin, obviously. Yeah.
I wasn't a fan.
He can also dance. Okay, tell me more.
I wasn't a fan.
Please tell me more.
I just thought he was distracting, like the girls came to compete and poor Raven is like trying to get them to rehearse and everyone is off distracted doing other things. And I really thought that he was working with Marisol's mom.
Whoa, that would be a twist.
Yeah, because he just was always like, let's do this. And it was always at the wrong time. And I was like, he's trying to keep her from rehearsing so that, he can maybe perform and win, or Marisol performs and wins.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know. And J names, I mean, come on. Come on. They're not great. They're not great. So also speaking about names, why I felt like all 4 Cheetah Girls have kind of strange, out of the normal names. Do you know anything about that, or?
I don't know. The movies are based on books.
Okay, cool.
Which I have not read, but I imagine the author chose those names.
Yeah.
So I don't know the story behind them, but yeah. And in the first movie, they get more into like their nicknames too. So
Bubbles.
Yeah.
Chi-Chi?
Chuchi.
Chuchi.
So close.
Do the other 2 have nicknames?
Yeah. So, well, they call her Aqua, but her full name is Aquanetta.
Yeah.
Which that is an interesting name.
Yeah. And she's from Houston. She's from
Houston.
She's not from, are they from New York?
She's not. Yeah. They live in Manhattan.
Okay.
She goes to high school with them, but
in Manhattan.
Yeah. Okay. But they really make her whole character like she's from Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then, Dorinda, they call her Do sometimes, or Do Re Mi.
Nice. Yeah. That's good. So you really liked Dorinda growing up because you guys both danced. Has there been a character that you've come to appreciate more as you've watched it over time into your adult years?
I think her mom, Galleria's mom. Yeah. And actually Chanel's mom too. I think they seemed really like overprotective and annoying when I was a kid, but now I'm like, they really care about their kids, and it's fun that like they're also there and they have their own storylines going on in the film. She gets proposed to. Yeah, it's a big deal. Big deal. Yeah, and they moved back to Manhattan, which I don't know if that's explored in the third movie. I guess since they just go to India. Yeah. I don't know what happens there, but Luke moves to Manhattan. Yeah. I'd like to see him take on New York. Yeah, I like Luke. Speaking of characters and speaking of Luke, how would you, and just overall, however you want to interpret it, rank
Luke,
Mm-hmm.
Angel,
Mm-hmm.
and Joaquin.
Rank them.
Yes. Just overall enjoyment of
their characters.
Yeah.
So I think I would put Luke at the bottom. I've never really cared for him.
Yeah.
But I think in this watch, actually, his moment that he has with Chanel when she's like, I would be honored to have you as part of my family, it really touched me.
Yeah. And
I was like, Luke's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So he's not at the bottom because I don't like him.
Yeah. And he's very wealthy. He has a
has a mansion palace.
Yes.
What does he do? I would love to know.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what Luke's into.
I kind of want to know like more about all the parents because when at the beginning when they're in Galleria's bedroom, that's a massive bedroom in the middle of Manhattan, and she has a view of the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Like, okay, your parents are up to something.
Yeah, and I learned her dad was doing business in Hong Kong.
Yeah. So that could mean anything, really.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then her mom is a fashion designer, so I guess she's doing okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And then above Luke.
Yeah, and then Luke. So excuse me. I would have to say Angel. Yeah. Because he's great, but he's kind of just like in the shadows. And
I mean, he does save the day.
He saves the day,
by being in the shadows.
Of course, that's his whole thing.
Yeah.
And he's just there, like he's ready to go for strut. He's like, yeah, I'm here to back you girls up, of course. And then, of course, Joaquin. I love him. But I will say, I think in watching it more as an adult, I have found that he is kind of like a little pushy. Like the first time he meets her, he's like, let's hang out 3 times. And it's like, whoa. Yeah. You can chill a little bit. But I can't.
That's why it's suspicious. That's why it's like,
It is. I mean, as you were saying it, I was like, that would be good. Yeah. That would be good if he was a little sinister.
I'll text Kenny. See if we can
let him know.
Work something up. Okay. So favorite song, Strut or
Step Up.
Step Up. That's good. Would you change anything about this movie, or would you say it's perfect as is?
Would I change anything? I think no. Yeah. I think it's a perfect movie. Yeah, every line of dialogue is like the perfect cringe, you know? Yeah. Like, oh, it's all perfect. The outfits are so 2006.
Yes. Very denim.
Yes. Yeah. And those songs are like actually so good. Yeah. The choreography, Kenny Ortega doesn't miss. I think, I love the casting. I think it's perfect.
Yeah. So why do you like this one more than the other Cheetah Girls?
So as I've said, the third one's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third one goes without saying. Kenny Ortega, here's the bottom line. Kenny Ortega only directed the second one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So obviously,
I think he was a little preoccupied because High School Musical was taking off.
Exactly.
Priorities.
Yeah. So I'll forgive him for that one. But I think the music is not as good. Storyline is boring. And then the first one is fantastic. Like, would be one of my favorites. But the second one's just better. The first one's fun. The music's good. I like that they're in New York. Yeah. They're trying to get a record deal with Jackal Johnson, which...
Is that a real person?
That's awesome. Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Just in the film. Yeah. But he's got like the frosted tips and the blue sunglasses. Yeah. So it's a great one too. Yeah.
Maybe I'll check it out if someone else comes on the podcast and says Cheetah Girls is their favorite.
Definitely.
Watch it and talk about it. As I'm thinking about the movie and I'm thinking about what I would change, there's a lot.
Tell me. Okay, I want to know.
No. It's there are a couple lines where Aqua just has rough lines to give, and I feel bad for her. And the one line that sticks out to me is they're meeting Joaquin for the first time, and they're talking about the dancing cat. the place. And then we learned that he's a dancer. And she's like, dancing count. Like, I can't keep
dizzy.
I was like, oh, that was bad. That was very bad. And then Chanel, like, her deliveries are just rough. Very, very rough. But don't hear me bash your favorite movie at all. Like, these are just all my little critiques.
Yes. They're valid. It's okay.
And what's the song they sing when Raven's like getting ready to leave? Like, they're all...
Oh, it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
That felt too dramatic. The only thing that was missing was rain. Yeah. It was something.
Yeah, it's like a little thunderstorm in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the drama. It's so good.
Yeah. What else? Oh yeah. I wrote down in my notes. I was confused because when they went to go meet to the uncle, the guy who runs it all. What's his name? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Yeah. So they go and they don't know they're gonna have to audition like in front of him, and they're freaking out. And I'm like, you guys just like sang all throughout the streets of Barcelona. You're acting like you've never sang before. Yeah. I'm like,
just
guys,
pull out something.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
But eventually they get in and it's good.
Yep.
But no, I think it's a really, really good movie. You know, you have the kind of conflict with Marisol and her mom and like the secret kind of breaking them up. And then you kind of get to the end and you're kind of like, oh, I thought it was over, but then they get paid at the dancing cat and it's like, hey, you guys can't perform.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that plan is still going on. Like, she is still trying, even though Raven came back, she's still trying to break them apart. And I thought that was cool. I didn't think Marisol was a good singer.
Okay. So I did find out that this is her first movie in English. I think she, if I remember right, I think she did like Mexican telenovelas or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. She, she's got her own style.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to, compete when you're up against the Cheetah Girls. Yeah. And you're hearing them perform.
Yeah. No, that is hard. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Characters, I do enjoy all the characters. I like they're all very unique. Aqua was funny with like her saying she knows Spanish and wanting everyone to know that she knows Spanish. That was cool. And then her little side quest with the fashion, and then Doe, her kind of like internal like, I'm not good enough for you, like foster family, like you have so much money. That was cool. A little dramatic, but cool.
Very dramatic, but she's finding herself.
Yeah, Raven, Galleria.
Yes.
She at times doesn't feel like she has a script. I just feel like she's Raven being Raven. Like I feel like I've seen that Raven and That's a Raven and other things. And so I appreciated that. But just Chanel, I can't get back. I can't get behind Chanel. Yeah, just her name, her delivery, her story, her beef with Luke. Like Luke's a good dude. Luke's doing everything he can.
Yeah. I feel like the parents could have been a little more clear. Like, if we get married, we won't have to move to a different country.
Yeah.
I feel like being 17 years old, like I would also be a little stressed. Yeah. But yeah. She had some growing to do.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's like you were so worried about the Cheetah Girls being broken up, and then our next movie, they're not even together.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of disappointing. Yeah.
But like I said, I'm thankful for Kenny Ortega and the Cheetah Girls. So would you say this movie is underrated, perfectly rated, or overrated?
Okay. I do think it's underrated because it's just before High School Musical. And High School Musical, I think, is incredible and is getting the flowers that it deserves.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it kind of paved the way for that. And I personally think it's better. So yeah, I do think it's a bit underrated.
In what ways would you say it's better?
just that it, like I said, like it's just perfect.
Yeah.
All the characters are perfect. Yeah. It's just, I mean, I love it. I think I resonate with them more than the characters of High School Musical.
Yeah. What character is becoming a High School Musical podcast now? What character from High School Musical do you think could be in the Cheetah Girls? Who could survive?
Whoa.
Yeah.
A crossover.
Yeah.
Who could do it? Maybe Corbin Blue.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah. I love Corbin. Corbin's great.
I think he might fit in nicely, actually. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Gabriella could do it. I don't think Sharpay could do it.
They would eat Sharpay alive.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, honestly, I think the boys are giving a little more Cheetah Girls than the ladies are. That's fair.
And who from Cheetah Girls could perform at East High?
Oh.
Who would fit in best?
They all could, I think. They could have gone to East High and they would have given Sharpay a run for her money, really.
Chanel and Sharpay, that would...
Oh, man.
that would be something.
I would watch that.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So speaking of crossover, speaking of kind of like ideas, if you were to pitch a spinoff based on one Cheetah Girl, who would it be and why? And like, how would you want to follow them? Whether it's Aqua back home or whether it's Raven at college, whether it's kind of like, where would you want them to go?
Ooh, I think I would have to pick Dorinda because I feel like her future would have been like something related to dance. And that would be fun to see. Although, yeah, I think like Galleria is really determined to be a star. So it could be like her doing auditions in New York or something like that. That could be fun too. Yeah.
So let's say they all stick together and most boy bands and girl bands eventually split, go their separate ways. You know, we see all the time. How long would it be until the Cheetah Girls were to split? Or do you think they go the distance?
Man, wouldn't that be cool? If they
that would be cool.
If they just stuck together like until their late days still up there performing. I think definitely that's what would happen for sure.
They go the distance.
They're not just friends, they're sisters.
And when they stick together. That's what they tell us. All right. So a little bit about you. If you had a band, who would be in it? I'll give you 3 members.
Whoa.
Yeah, tough. And what would your name be of your band?
Oh my goodness. Ooh, if I had a band, I don't know. I mean, I only have Cheetah Girls on the brain. So
it's taken, sadly. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I think my band would be something like that, like a girl group. Like, fun performing. Who would be in it? I don't know. I think I'm supposed to pick famous people, but I'm kind of like, I want my friends to be in it. You know?
Hopefully your friends are watching. So hopefully they're like, you better pick me.
You can be in my band.
Thank you.
I'll put Gretchen in my band.
Yeah.
And who else? Shout out my friend Irene. Yeah, she can be in my band too.
Nice.
I think the 4 of us could tear it up.
Hopefully Irene watches this. And
Yeah.
Good.
I'll send this her way.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay, so this is selfishly for me. I have a friend who, a good friend. He's actually here right now. His name's Mason. And we've been going back and forth over who made better music, Disney Channel or Nickelodeon.
Ooh.
And I'm Team Nickelodeon.
Okay.
He's Team Disney.
Yeah.
He's wrong, obviously.
Okay.
So my question to you is Big Time Rush. Have you heard of them? BTR.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Versus the Cheetah Girls.
It's no question.
Big Time Rush?
No, of course not.
I get it. I
it's the Cheetah Girls, right? Am I right? Of course.
Fair enough. So I figured I probably couldn't get you to say Big Time Rush there, but how would you say the Cheetah Girls rank among other musical groups in Disney?
Mm-hmm.
Think of Austin and Ally.
Of course.
High School Musical.
Uh-huh.
Who else we got? Hannah Montana.
Yes. Camp Rock.
Yeah. So how would they rank?
I mean, they're my favorites. So what can I say?
Yeah, they're number one.
Yeah. I think they're the best, but I think that all of the others are also great. Like Hannah Montana, iconic.
Yeah.
Her discography is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, I think High School Musical is up there. Camp Rock even is up there.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hilary Duff, Ally and AJ. Yeah. These guys crush it. So yeah, they're all great. Who are your favorite Nickelodeon people?
Oh yeah, I'm so glad you asked. Big Time Rush, number one.
Of course. Okay. Favorite song?
That's a good one. I think Boyfriend featuring Snoop Dogg is
Snoop Dogg?
Featuring Snoop Dogg. Like, did you know Snoop Dogg featured with Big Time Rush?
No.
Snoop Dogg didn't feature with anyone on Disney Channel. That's all I'm gonna say. He didn't feature with the Cheetah Girls. He didn't feature with Hannah Montana.
No way. Yeah. Wait, I know that song, but I didn't know he featured.
Yeah. He has a feature.
Wow. Okay.
Go check it out. Drake and Josh. Drake Bell. Yeah. It's great. Great intro. Victorious. I feel like that's the golden child of Nickelodeon music. Nothing really compares to Victorious.
Well, I wouldn't say nothing compares, but
they have Andre.
Andre, Ariana.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Yeah, it's hard to touch that.
Yeah.
SpongeBob has some good music.
That's true.
The fun song, Campfire Song.
Of course, Campfire Song.
Gary Come Home.
Gary Come Home, definitely.
Lots of good hits. Yeah. Missing anything, Mason? Yeah.
Fairly Odd Parents theme.
There's this movie. I'm not sure if you heard about it. It came out the same year as Let It Shine.
Okay, Let It Shine. Another excellent Disney example.
I shouldn't have brought it up. Rags. Have you heard of Rags? It was Keke Palmer. They have good music. Okay. Yeah, you should go check it out. So yeah. Those are some of my favorite musical groups from Nickelodeon.
I respect that. I do think you're wrong, but I respect your opinion for sure.
Thank you. So what is your overall favorite thing about this movie, and why should we all take the time to enjoy the Cheetah Girls?
This movie is about friendship and how to overcome obstacles.
Yeah.
And do that while traveling the world.
Yeah.
Like, what could be better?
Yeah. Do you think, going back to when your sister was born, you're watching Cheetah Girls, do you think that planted an idea of your mind that you want to travel one day? Any influence at all?
Honestly, no, I don't think so. Yeah. I think I saw that and was just like, that's a dream. Like, that's outside of the realm of possibility. It probably opened my eyes to Barcelona. I don't think I would have known about that at such a young age. But as I got older and more interested in travel, then I think definitely it became a place that was high on my list because the Cheetah Girls were there. I took a picture in Park Gway, which is where they do a lot of the filming there actually. But in Strut, they have this awesome moment where they're you feel the flow. Yeah. You just can't move no more. Yeah. And so they're coming through and they all come up to this bench that's in the park that's got cool mosaic tiles and stuff. And they all, something new was going on, and they strike a pose. Yeah. And Raven, again, just being Raven. Yeah. I'm sure they did not tell her to do this.
It wasn't a script.
She's kicks her leg up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when I went to that park, I was like, we have to find the exact place where they sat.
Yeah.
And yes, I was starstruck just looking at the bench where they sat, of course, and get a picture doing the pose.
Was there a long line of people who were also wanting to do that? Or was it
Not that specifically. You would be surprised.
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting that people go to Barcelona and don't think of it as like the set of Cheetah Girls 2. They go for other reasons. Doesn't make sense, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of said this a little bit earlier, but what do you think is like the meaning of Cheetah Girls 1, 2, 3, but mainly 2? What is Mr. Ortega trying to communicate, have everyone understand?
I honestly think it's a sweet story. I think that these are 4 girls who are from different places, from different backgrounds, and the thing that brings them together is just like their friendship and obviously their ability to sing and dance.
Yeah.
But I think, it's really sweet. Like the way they have each other's backs, and we even see like Galleria and Chanel they're like besties. So Galleria is like supporting Chanel through this difficult time that she's going through.
Yeah.
And
Chanel stabs her in the back.
Yeah. What's that about?
Can I tell you a secret? I wanted Galleria to go home.
I mean, it was so warranted.
Yeah. Like, you guys are the worst.
Like, y'all are really, when she's sitting at the piano and she's like, this competition is in like 6 days. I'm like, oh, they're not performing. No. Y'all have nothing done. Yeah. It kind of would have been like, y'all need to learn your lesson. But yeah, they work it out, which is great. So yeah, I think it is like seeing these girls from different places like come together and just like really be true besties. Like they recognize that what they did was wrong and they show up to the train station in their pajamas and their bunny slippers. Like that's friendship.
Yeah, that is friendship. So I don't know, do you have Disney Plus?
Of course.
Okay, so recently a lot of shows or old movies are like making kind of remakes of things. Would you want to see like the Cheetah Girls? They have families, they have daughters. Like, would you want to see like a new generation of Cheetah Girls, or would you like for it to stay in 2006?
So Raven was on a podcast or in an interview or something.
Oh, wow. You think she'll come on this one?
There's only one way to find out. We should ask her.
Great, yeah.
I wonder if we have the same favorite movie in common. And the person interviewing her, I don't remember what they asked, but her response was something like, we'll see what's in store for the Cheetah Girls, something kind of future tense. And then the interviewer was like, does that mean something's happening with the Cheetah Girls? And she kind of declined to answer, which of course I was so like excited to see that.
Yeah.
But then I did think like, it's like so perfect and like nostalgic the way it is right now.
Yeah. And
I feel like Kenny Ortega would have to direct it for it to do any justice, but it would, as excited as I would be, I think it would make me really nervous to bring something else into like another movie or another piece like that. I think if they like went on tour again.
Did they ever go on tour?
Of course.
Oh yeah. I meant to ask, because Big Time Rush, they were an actual band.
Yeah.
Like, did the Cheetah Girls actually like do things outside of their movie?
Definitely.
Wow.
I actually think that the way that they cast it was outside of Raven, the other 3 girls were in a band together already. And that's how they found them. I'm like 80% sure that's right. So.
Yeah.
And so they toured. I think Raven must have toured with them some, but I believe that That's a Raven was also happening at the same time.
Yeah, she was busy.
Did
they go by the Cheetah Girls? Like
Afterwards. Yeah. Okay. They went by the Cheetah Girls. They have a Christmas album. That's just the three of them.
Wow.
Cheetah-licious Christmas. You should check it out.
Christmas is over. I missed out.
It's never too late. It's always the right time for Cheetah Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Again, like if they went on tour again, Raven would have to be there. Yeah. And Kenny Ortega would have to be involved.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
I would be all down for that. But yeah, I don't know about like another movie or something, or seeing their lives in the future. I think it could kind of, mess up the perfect thing that it is.
For sure. You don't touch perfection.
Exactly.
Closing thoughts on Cheetah Girls 2?
Closing thoughts. Everyone should see it. It's so good.
Yep.
Check out the music, learn the dances. It's so fun. Go to Barcelona, have the full Cheetah Girls experience. It's the best. Just embrace the like cringy, but nostalgic, but just like so fun. Yeah. Joy that it is.
Joy.
Yeah.
Cheetah Girls 2 is joy. You guys heard it here first. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you watch Cheetah Girls 2, skip Cheetah Girls 3, and also go support all Nickelodeon bands and music to get those numbers up. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.